Okay, so we're back again. I think I'm gonna look a bit more about what they have here. Well, now I got like a super wide angle with my phone, so we can have a very good look around, which is great. I'm gonna grab a couple more tapes today. I went through everything yesterday. It took me like nearly 3 hours. As you can see, everything seems a bit more like in order, so to speak, because it was kind of a mess, especially on the top shelves here. Maybe someone browsed yesterday or today. But yeah, it looks a bit nicer, so to speak. So I'm gonna look around and maybe grab a couple more tapes. Like if I just look here, this was from 2007, I believe, a movie called The Strangers. This may be a good addition because it's like post-tape demise. Let's see, yeah, it says 2008. So yeah, that's in the zone. That's a late release. I think I'll take it. Anyway, for now I'm not too sure, but I'll put it aside right here. There are a couple more things I spotted 2 days ago that I may grab. Let me just check around. Yeah, there was The Visitor. That was for like one of my friends. He wanted it, so I'm just gonna grab this. It's not in super shape, but once it's cleaned up, I think it's gonna look good. So yeah, all right, let's put that one on the pile. What else do we got? I just can't recall where I put like all that stuff. Yeah, there's this film here I was looking at just before I arrived. I mean, just after I arrived. It's a Korean film. Looks like one of those divers movies from Japan. The Ama series, if I remember correctly. But it's a Korean film, obviously. Probably set in Jeju or something. Yeah, I'll put that aside. I'll look at it later. I know there were like a couple of gangster films, like Korean gangster films. If I can just pull them out. I can't remember where I put them, but that could be cool because they're really getting hard to find. I think they were like around here. Anyway, you're down there. Yeah, there were like 2 or 3 Korean gangster films from the 90s. I think I'm gonna grab those because they're getting hard to come by. Like stuff like this. Yeah. But it wasn't that one. I think there was one called The Korean Connection, and it was on 2 tapes, and that's pretty hard to get because usually if you do find that, you'll find 1 tape but you won't find the other, which is kind of a pain. And I found both tapes and I purposely put them together. Yeah, another like action drama or something. Damn. Yeah, that's an Im Kwon-taek film, famous director, but that's available on DVD if not on Blu-ray. So I'll pass. Movie with Yukari Oshima, but I think that's on DVD as well, so meh. Oh, this one though, this I'll take it. That's like an old Korean like drama erotica from one director. He did a bunch of films in the same genre, and this one is quite hard to find, and that's rare. That's like an old label. Like this label is very old. Yeah, I think I'll take this one. Love Scandal. Can't go wrong with a title like this. Let's put that on the pile. Yeah, the only thing though is since I'm alone doing this right now, it's not like someone's holding the camera and I can just browse around. I just look at what I put that like on the front shelves. But later on I'll just put down the phone and start browsing and pull out like the tapes I wanna grab. Yeah. I mean, I hope also this video is fun for you guys, so you can have a look at the exact same stuff I'm looking at right now, because I got like the wide angle out. I don't have like my sweet camera, so the image quality maybe is not as great, but at least you can see like a lot of stuff down there. Yeah, I went through all this yesterday one by one. Not yesterday, but 2 days ago, and that was so messy. Whoops. Just drop the mic. Oh yeah, there's something I wanted to show you. Wait, let me just clip back my little mic. Here we go. Okay, yeah, films like these, like this isn't like a gangster film with Wang Zhangli and what's his name, Dragon Lee. This is a part 2. I think it's called the Nationwide Constituency, something like that. Anyway, it has like 1 or 2 different names. But the sad thing is, this tape is so moldy. I checked it yesterday, and it got like even like black mold here, so I left it there. And this is quite common when you do like some like video hunts in the wild like this. You will come across many tapes like that, especially these days. And there was one tape that I put aside, I think. I'll show it to you later. It was a beautiful DNS tape, but it was, I mean, it was so moldy. It was horrible, and such a, like, that was heartbreaking because I really, really wanted that tape. But it's oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, that one. Lore. Yeah, that was kind of, I think, taken from like, it was a spin-off of the Emmanuel series, and that's such a great cover. But I mean, you look at it, you think, okay, maybe it's I can rescue it, but no way. Like, no way. Look at this. Like, the cover got fused. It got fused with this, the plastic, and look at this black mold. It's horrible. So this is just trash, sadly. And it's the first time I see this tape. I've never seen this tape before, so this is a bit heartbreaking for me. Let's look inside. How about the videotape? Yeah, the videotape is, yeah, I think this is kind of like brown dust and a bit more than just mold, so maybe it's all over the tape itself, so it will be very hard to clean, if not impossible to clean. So this is just pure trash right there, sadly. That's so bad. Yeah, DNS. That's such a great label. They have so many great titles. Anyway, that was the first time I see this tape, but yeah, I cannot take it. So anyway, I'm gonna look around, and I'm gonna have to stack up a bunch of tapes. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna grab like maybe a bit less than 20. Probably gonna go with like some old school Korean erotica, because again, I'm just building folders with some specific actresses that I want to do some research on, and probably like some old school Korean films, and maybe like gangster films and things like that. But there won't be like any Western films. By that I mean like any American films or like giallos or whatever, anything extraordinary, because I already grabbed pretty much everything 2 days ago. But anyway, we'll see. I'll just browse around, grab what's interesting, and I'll come back to you and maybe show you, like, just in the same fashion I showed you what I found 2 days ago. So anyway, so let's get to it. All right, so we're back. Today I was able to get about 17 tapes and 3 DVDs, so this is pretty good. I was aiming at 20. I guess there were like maybe 3 or 4 other films. I just like, I look and I was like, nah, maybe later, or I gave up. I don't know. I wasn't too sure about what they were exactly, and I may do a bit of research and maybe go back again like in 1 or 2 days and pick them up. But for now, I grabbed 17 tapes, which is good. It's a good haul. First of all, we got right here The Visitor. This one I wanted to grab it, but actually I took it for one of my friends because he really wanted it. So my good friend Steve. So there you go, Steve. This is yours. It's in, I mean, it was so dirty, but now it's in great shape. I cleaned it up, and there you go. It's just got a bit of damage at the top right there. So I'm not too, I don't like that too much, but general appeal of this tape is quite okay. It's quite collectible, and it's not a tape that you'll find everywhere, so it's really worth grabbing. So that's the first one. Now let's move on. What do I have? I got, like, the rest are all Korean films. I grabbed this one. This one I think I just passed it last time. Otherwise I would have grabbed it in my first visit there. This is like an old Korean film from like 1991, like early 90s, and this is like typical Korean gangster film with the fedora. That was so popular back like in the late 80s up to the early 90s. It was like the fashion with the gangster flicks. And of course it has this Korean actor right there, Bae Soo-chun, this guy here with the glasses. He was in, let me just try to focus on this. There you go. So this guy was in a bunch of kung fu films back in the days, and he was always playing the villain. And I guess he's also playing the villain right here. So maybe one of his like not last appearances, but a later film from him. Like I said, he appeared in so many films back in the late 70s, early 80s, and since this is like early 90s, yeah, it's a late appearance of this actor. So I jumped on this. This is quite rare. I think it's the first time I actually see this. Well, yeah, it's like some kung fu going on, gangster film, classic stuff from the early 90s. So that was a grab. If we continue with some gangster stuff in kung fu, I told you about the Korean Connection, not to be confused with the Korean Connection that was retitled. I think it's Return Single-Legged Man, the film with Han Young-chul, and has like a special appearance by Hwang Jang-lee. He's like a bad guy on a bridge, fighting off like the hero. Anyway, this film is called also Korean Connection, and it comes on 2 tapes. And I think I said that before, but like I think I found sometimes like 1 tape, but it's always like part 1 out of 2 or part 2 out of 2, and I never get like both tapes. And this time I got both tapes, and they're in really, really top shape. Like no or barely any sun fade on the spine, which is great. And as you can see, it's funny because there's like a little sticker for part 1. So I believe like they were both like part 2s, but they had to put a sticker for part 1 because, I don't know, they wanted to save printing, like just print 1 cover at a time, just put a sticker and call it a day, because they're identical pretty much, like both sides. So there you go. This is like an action film, again from the early 90s. Korean gangster, Korean action, fairly rare, comes on 2 tapes. Very happy I grabbed that one up. Next, we got Little Giant. This is also like a Korean martial art, Korean action film from the, maybe this one is more mid-90s, yeah, 1994. So this is like the first step into like modern, I would call it modern Korean films, because Korean films like became like the big sensation like around 1995, 1996, when they became more international, so to speak. So this is like right before that. So that's why this doesn't exist on DVD or anything. It's fairly rare. I had a copy before it sold. This one is, I believe, even better than the previous copy I had. Like spine and everything. It's really clean. So I'm really glad I grabbed this one. Next, maybe some of you who are into action films and kung fu films, you're probably familiar with this one with oh my god, I look at her, I know her name. Geez, I just forgot. I'm getting old. Cynthia Rothrock. There you go. I'm not looking on something, just Cynthia Rothrock. So yeah, this film, I think there's like 1 or 2 versions of this, and one has like extra scenes and the other one is cut or whatever. So since this is like on an old label, like the Dong-A export label, I believe maybe there's some extra stuff, some extra scenes in this film. I would be a bit surprised though, because it happens sometimes. But yeah, as I said, it happens. So I took my chances with this one. I grabbed it. Maybe there's nothing new, nothing more. It's just the plain same thing as the other ones, Golden Harvest. But anyway, I took my chances, and it's not a tape that I see very often. I saw it maybe once or twice, didn't take it, it was too pricey, and saw it there in very good condition. I grabbed it. So here you go. Now we're gonna move on to the more like erotic stuff I grabbed. Once again, stuff I left last time and I was like, okay, let's take it. So you saw me grab this right before. This is from like a famous director in Korea, and this film, again, is very old label. This is very old label and older film. It's more, I guess, like a drama, but hey, this usually is fairly, it's quite pricey if you do buy this in like a collector's shop or something. So that's why I got it, and it's in fairly good shape. So there you go. Next we got another this is more like what we call like folk ero, which means like folklore, of course, and erotica. So of course you have like the costume. It's more like a costume drama, you know, and they have like the hanbok and the, you know, like the villages and stuff. So it's very, very interesting. Like Korea was very famous back in the mid 80s up to the early 90s. That was like a huge sub-genre, so to speak. They had like Pong. Sorry, my pronunciation is terrible today. Pong, double P-O-N-G. Pong. So that was perhaps the most famous among them all in the folk ero type. So that's just another one. And just so you notice, here I got like a that's just a normal clamshell, and this is the Samsung label. It's like an odd size. See, it's just like a bit smaller, and if you look it up like this, see, it's like it's well, I'm in centimeters right here, but it's half a centimeter all the way around. And this is like, if I want to have like a spare box or clamshell for this, it's super hard to find. By the way, I do have this film already. I can't remember in what shape it is, so if it's in a better shape, it's just going to be an upgrade. Otherwise, I'm going to reuse the clamshell, because those are really hard to come by. And if you have one that is broken, it's heartbreaking, because yeah, hard to find. So 2 reasons why I grabbed that one. Here we go. Next, this this is more like in the early 2000 territory for erotica. Why grab this? Because actually there's a fun story about Korean erotica. You know, it started back in 1982. It went up to now, I guess. But the demise of videotapes for like erotica was like 2007, 2008. This is early 2000, but what I want to say here is that pretty much like Korean erotica on tapes and DVDs died out because there was like internet came in, and there was cable TV also. And this, what it says here, it says internet jockey, which means it says IJ, but there's also PJ, which stands for porno jockey. By the way, this is erotica, all right? So do not be confused. Porn, hardcore porn and stuff like that doesn't exist in Korea. It's totally illegal. So all those films, what they are, they're pretty much just very tame adult entertainment erotica, pretty much like your average Emmanuel film, whatever. So I grabbed this one specifically because I guess this is more like a making of those like
PJ videos, like when they film stuff online for like streaming back in like 2003 or something. So this is more like a making of. So yeah, there's like the website right here. And yeah, if you're curious enough, you can look it up. It doesn't exist anymore, but I'm sure there's like some porn sites that actually do stream some of those videos. Whatever. Anyway, I just grabbed it for the historical value, so to speak, of it, and just to know more about like how they filmed those things, what was going on exactly, because that was a way for Korea to, I mean, for those companies to, how to say, to go around the laws and produce some more like hardcore material without being caught and avoid like laws and stuff. And by the way, since this is a videotape, there's no hardcore stuff on this. This is still just erotica. So anyway, that was a grab. And here what we have, another one. This is just, I just grabbed it because it's the same label as one of the actresses. I was checking her filmography. So I'm like, okay, well, it was there and it wasn't too expensive. So I just grabbed that one. Next, okay, here. More like sexy photos right here. This label here, it's called Cine Pro, which is a subdivision of Yuho. Yuho, just so you know, was pretty much like Playboy in the States. It was like one of the two biggest, if not the biggest company that produced erotica in Korea. Sadly, they're gone. I think they vanished around 2005. They also distributed a couple of other films that they produced. I think they had like a bunch of imports, like Italian police films and stuff. But their big thing was erotica, of course, and that was like near the end of the company. I think 2001 to 2003 they released the Cine Pro label. Anyway, it was more like how to say, in fashion with the industry at the time, like more like trying to copy maybe like American style with those cool, nice photos of like very beautiful girls. Anyways, so those two, anyway, I grabbed them. They weren't too expensive as well. And finally, this one. This is another Korean, I should have put it, I should have shown you this one with the other Korean action film. Sorry, it was at the bottom of the pile. That was another Korean action film, I think 1992 or something. Let's see. I think, yeah, late 90s. So this one never came out on DVD. It's Korean action, again, Korean gangster, probably a bit of drama as well. So this is quite rare. I mean, I used to see it a lot of times and I always passed it, but now it's getting hard to get. So, and this one is in quite good shape, except at the top here it had like a bit of moisture or whatever. So, but the rest of the tape is fairly clean. So anyway, good addition to the gangster and action genre from Korea. So there you go. So that was it for this second part video. I hope you enjoyed it. For what I've seen from the previous video, everyone really enjoyed it because the numbers are way up. I'm really happy and many people joined the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest that you should subscribe because this makes me super happy. And also it's really fun to make those videos and I'm really glad you guys like them. So if you have also suggestions, please do not hesitate and write them down in the comments down below. And I will look at those comments, and if there's anything else I can do, any suggestions of videos, I'll try to make them. So keep safe, see you next time, and have a good week.